who then was Minister of the Interior, he vetoed any change of the statistical offices because he didn't want to weaken his own. So we did some mistakes as Europeans, and we have to say that yes, the Greeks have a point, but on the other hand, Stavros, on the other hand, the Greek mentality and the Greek way of dealing with it, I support the new government, what you do is great, but in the past was not the right way to do it. And now, what we need now is wait for fulfillment of the stability program. They have to take steps. You have to take steps. At the moment, we are seeing only people not doing to work.
This is revealed not just
I said
problems.
that the only thing I would disagree with Yorgos about, because I agree with everything, is when you mentioned the Greek mentality.
Yeah.
It is the exact same mentality that everyone was betting against for the Olympic Games.
That's true.
And produced, at the time, the most surprising games ever, which is, as you can imagine, a humongous undertaking, and you have this issue now in London. I have no problem with the Greek mentality. I know it very well. It can excel, or it can collapse with a bad government. We had a bad government, in my view. We have a very good government now. We are sacrificing now. We must, we know, and we will. We'll turn this around. I know we will. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for handouts. I'm asking for political support. I'm asking for the European gun on the table. I haven't seen it yet. I hope they bring it.
Okay, Peter, for many outside the Eurozone, particularly in countries like Britain, people are standing there on the sideline saying, thank goodness we're not in the Euro. Do you think Greece would have been better off outside the Euro?
No, I don't. And I think that for all the reasons that a currency is a sign of the economic virility of any country to a large degree, and we've gone through that ourselves, it would have been a nightmare if Greece had been outside the Eurozone. I think the drachma would have descended into chaos, would have taken many of its neighbouring countries and currencies with it if they'd also done the same.
Vicky's shaking her head.
Well, I think, as I said, you know, the UK has also got a very large deficit. We've also got very large debt. But we have a very different economy, and we do control our own currency. So I'm actually very glad that at this point the UK is not in the Euro.
But
we
did try to support our currency when it was in free fall. Back in 1993, we spent hundreds of millions of pounds from our treasury trying to stop it descending through the floor, with speculators heaping enormous amounts of pressures like Soros.
Do you think the UK can afford to stand on the sidelines and say nothing to do with us? Let me ask Yorgos.
Well, my old position stays the same. I think the British would do best to join the Eurozone. Yeah. Why is Iceland now so keen on becoming member of the Eurozone? Now, we have to see, we have to understand, it's a difference between Iceland and the UK, but a lot of economies were protected by this shield of a strong euro during the economic crisis. Everybody knows that. Everybody would say, thanks God we have the euro. Also, the British at that time would like to have it. Now, the real figures about the British deficit will come up soon, and they will reveal an enormous deficit. It will be very similar to the Greek case, although the economy is a different one. We have to see how the British government reacts. I would like to invite the British government again to join the Eurozone and to make the strongest currency on earth, which we are already, to protect all the economies. But everybody has to apply to the rules. Everybody has to apply to the rules.
I would say two things to that. Why, taking your argument, then why are members from the Eastern European countries that I've spoken to this week who were so keen on joining the Euro, some of them saying, oh my goodness, I'm now not so sure. Second point I would say on standing on the sidelines. There is an international process, it's called the IMF, where you can go and help a country that's got itself in problems, but coming up with a strategy to work their own way out, where they can get international help to help them through that refinancing debt period. Now, if the Eurozone chooses not to go to the IMF because they see this as let's help support the Euro, we want to do that internally, then that to me is a Eurozone issue and not the UK. If they want the UK,
so just finally, what lessons do you think there are to be learned beyond this Greek economic crisis?
I would say the biggest lesson is that you cannot have a monetary union without having an economic, a social and a political union going hand in hand with it. And in the Eurozone, we do not have the second, we only have the first. So long as all countries are tied to one currency, but their economies widely fluctuate because they don't have